Alright guys, welcome back to the Frugal Homestead, and in this video we're going to be working on making some space. So generally what happens around here is we've got this area down here by our lot. It's right off the lane, and the guys that do the tree cutting will come here and dump their chips and their wood out here on the ground. We process them and make more room so they can bring us more. We use the chips in the garden, we use the fire for firewood or bonfire or whatever. So it's a good trade, no money changes hands. You know, it just kind of works out well. The problem is, at times they'll bring in so much wood that it'll fill up all the space, which is what has happened here. So I was out here this morning cutting, and this had all been logs through here. All through here was logs. And I cut it all up and carried them all over here by the splitter. But we still don't have enough room to allow them to come in and back their big truck up here and keep tipping it. So I've got to get this pile processed today. That'll give them enough room to kind of jackknife their truck in one of two ways to be able to dump more. And then I'll need to continue to work on this pile all out through here, and then that pile down there, and get all that processed to be able to give them more room. So in order for me to make it feasible for them to continue to deliver this stuff for free, I need to maintain my part, which is keeping them an area to be able to pull in and dump. These guys are not going to want to pull in that big truck and see that there's no room to dump, because then they won't come back. So I got to keep them happy while they keep us happy. That said, it's supposed to be about 100 degrees today. The heat index is supposed to be 110, so I'm going to get cooked. Luckily there's some clouds. Hopefully we can get a little cloud cover in between, but basically I'm just going to be busting butt, sweating by that hot splitter. Let's get started. So on these hot days, you want to make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids, be it electrolytes, be it just plain up water. especially when you're messing with wood, because actually just by handling it and rubbing your arms and stuff up against it, it sucks some moisture right out of your body. Especially when it's a little drier like this is. Yeah. Pretty warm out. We'll sit here and take a quick break. Stop choking on the sawdust. And I'm gonna get back to it here, because this has got to get done today. I got other things to do. Times like this, it kind of sucks to stop what you're doing and come down and have to deal with this. And a lot of people would say, well, why don't you just push it back and give them room to have more? Because then it sits and it doesn't get processed. This kind of constricts me to force me to come down here and deal with it every week or two and process the wood. Now, we're already done for this year. We're splitting for next year. And we're splitting for wood we'll use on other parts of the farm, doing other things like cooking. But this just keeps me in line, it keeps me going, and it forces me, in order to keep getting the free resource, it motivates me to keep getting this done. As a lot of you know, getting free wood chips delivered to your house is not always the easiest thing. So when you can get it done, you want to take care of your guys that are doing it. I'm going to take a quick break and get back to it. All right, guys, as is life, you start to get going real good and you run out of gas. So I did everything in this area. And then if you look, really, I only have these big guys right here to get done. And then this whole area will be open again. I can move those logs over a little bit until I cut them up. That should give them plenty of room for now. Now, I'm not gonna bother going to go get gas, take the gas can, go get gas, and then come back and make you watch me split these big ones. Because as you saw earlier, the big ones take a long time, because first you have to bust them down into manageable pieces while wrestling them. And then you end up having to bust those pieces down, so it's just not worth filming. But if you come down here, the byproduct of tree cutting is when they grind up the branches. We get the firewood, which is awesome. You know, we heat with it. But this is what we're after. This will all turn into a compost or be chipped and then compost in the garden. So this is a huge factor for us, because this probably does half of our feeding and holding in moisture in our gardens. We spread this as a mulch to hold in the water and to keep the ground soft. But it also works as it composts into a soil builder, and it also breaks down and releases things like nitrogen and fertilizes our gardens for us in the form of compost. So this is a big part of our homestead and how we do things. So we want to be able to continue to get this free resource, and getting free wood is never bad. All right, you could actually, with some of the logs they bring in, could make furniture out of it. There's so much. But as you can see, they just bring it in truckloads and dump it. So we have to stay on top of our end of the deal, which is to clean all this up and give them room just to pull the truck off the lane and dump. We want to make it as easy as for them as possible. That way they continue to bring it here. So that said, it's been a hot day. I'm soaked, I'm dirty. I got to go down to town, get some more gas, turn around, come back, bust up those big boys, and then I'm done for the day. Not really. I'm going inside and I'm going to do some cooking and some meal prep, but this makes me feel good that we've got this much ready. It's one more thing, check off the list. The guys can come over, drop their load over here, and it won't be an issue. So if you like the video, please go down, hit the like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button and a little bell notification. That way you're notified at every video as they come out. And I think I've had enough of the camera work for a day, because it's bad enough to try to split this big wood out in this hot day. I think it's time for a cold drink and to put you guys away. So we'll see you in the next one.